Good morning. There are more fears about household energy bills. Sharp moves in the wholesale gas price as Russia cuts off supplies to 2 European countries. I'll explain how it could affect households and businesses here.
Now, look, we're talking about energy prices again, aren't we? And you're going to take us through kind of wholesale gas prices, how it all works and how this, because there's lots of talk about the cap being higher than the energy price cap being higher than expected next year.
Yeah, so there's the review that's due that will take effect in October. But we've also got this phenomenon that we're seeing of things happening a very long way away from us having a direct impact on our bills because of the world being so interconnected.
There was a real hope, wasn't there? Because it's going to rise, I think, it mean bills around something more than 2,500 a year. But it was hoped that next year they would significantly drop. So it was like the pain would be this year with the second cap coming up in October, but at least drop significantly. But because of all this insecurity, that's now being pushed high. So we're kind of getting the warning early. Yeah,
and the difficulty in making any estimates about where the price cap will eventually sit is there's not just price spikes, but there's volatility. So the price will spike and then it will drop. But the key question is, what direction will it go in when we get closer to that next review point? Let me explain the details for you. Very good morning to you. Russia is a major supplier of gas into Europe. Now, while the UK is not as reliant, more than half of our gas is imported. So changes to the wholesale price really matter. As supplies become restricted, demand and prices can rise. And that's what happened yesterday when Russia stopped gas exports to Poland and Bulgaria. Now, it's really important to know that gas is also used to generate electricity. In fact, it was responsible for more than a third of our electricity last month. If you live in England, Scotland or Wales, you are likely to be covered by the consumer price cap at home. And as we know, that went up to just under £2,000 at the start of this month. So that means if you use an average amount of energy on a dual fuel bill and you pay by direct debit, that is the maximum you should be paying. But that cap, as Naga was saying, is going to be reviewed for October, and analysts at Cornwall Insight predict it could go up by another £600. If the wholesale price continues to go higher, then that prediction could also rise further. Businesses, though, are not included in the price cap, so places that use a lot of energy could see their bills rise by even more. One of the big concerns at the moment is for swimming pools and leisure centres. The trade body UK Active says energy costs for the sector have gone up from £500 million a year to well over £1 billion. And that is a huge challenge for places like Tadcaster Community Swimming Pool.
Swimming pools use a lot of energy to keep the air and the water temperature at a constant high level, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. An example of that is the water's kept at 30 degrees, the small pool's kept at 31 degrees, and the air temperature's kept at 29 degrees, and that is happening all the time. So the gas is used to heat the water and heat the air, and then the electricity is used to move the water through the filtration system and move the air throughout the pool hall. The scale of the increases is huge. It's looking as if it's going to treble. So at the moment we pay £50,000 a year for our electricity, which looks as if it's going to go up to £135,000, if not more. The gas situation is something similar, and that's protected until next September. We currently pay £35,000, and that will go up to at least £70,000 plus, and that's only within that first 12 months. The future of the trust is going to be really, really challenging in the current climate with the energy prices as high as they are. We'll have to look at everything from energy saving measures through to price increases throughout our programme, so including schools, swimming lessons, general public. It's going to be a real challenging period. One of the changes that we're looking at is passing on the price to the customer, but it's going to be a significant price increase, and it's going to impact families and people in the community who are already feeling the pinch at home with the increases at home. And that's not what we stand for as a community pool. Everybody who has a swimming pool is in this situation, extremely high costs to keep it open and keep operating. They're really, really, really struggling. I'd like to see the government step in and offer some support to swimming pools and high users of an essential service that is supporting communities and getting people fit, reducing pressures on the NHS. We need help now.
Well, a government spokesperson told us it's in regular contact with energy suppliers, the energy regulator, Ofgem, and businesses to understand what support is needed. They also told us they'd given £1 billion to the leisure sector during the pandemic. With inflation already at a 30-year high, driven in large part by these high energy prices, families as well as businesses will be watching the situation really closely. The worry is if the wholesale volatility sticks, then it could mean higher prices for you and I could stay for longer.